Okay, thank you for coming. Return to the Help Coin channel and the family that owns XRP. Thank you for all of your help. I know I sound like a broken record, but it really bothered me that you took so long to return, watch movies, and make wonderfully directed you-know-what comments. This has been far too much for Pia. Thank you again. Of course, keep supporting, and these changes may continue to come. However, as we head into Tuesday morning, we are still seeing the same purple as we did on Monday. A significant amount. You already know. Moving on, what we saw on Monday developed into something very exciting. And if you watch my final replays, you'll know exactly what happened. But if not, I'll write a brief overview of what happened. We saw a great run out that began on a very positive note, but then we saw a complete shakeout, which of course had an impact on the crypto markets. However, as I mentioned, the price of XRP had risen above $40 by Tuesday morning. Without a doubt, the best quote is 42 cents, which is 4.7% lower in USD, but 0.5% higher in Bitcoin. In the 24-hour trading range, the market capitalization is approximately $81 billion, with $11.6 billion currently. But before we get into any more of the same, I'd like to make it clear that nothing on this channel is intended to be taken as financial advice. When investing in cryptocurrencies, you should always conduct your own research and due diligence. We're going to return to the rate, which allows us to see how their day appeared to them virtually. Because of this, I'm sure you all understand the first and most important information tree. A $100 billion asset manager registers in Delaware for a niche XRP ETF, that certainly got a lot of people excited. You understand that this makes a lot of people happy, but are we really shocked by that? Let's really talk about it. That is what I have been talking about in my daily posts. I also believe that 2025 will be a year of many amazing events. You're aware of developments in the cryptocurrency space that will result in the creation of an ETF. Now you'll see companies like BlackRock. I would not be shocked. You can be confident that these big asset managers will be interested in those large projects because people want them. And a way to reset, remember that reset. It will happen early next year for the entire set. This is going to be fantastic. It will undoubtedly be a significant push for ability with major ETF approval for multiple distinct properties. Again, once a BlackRock statement is issued, you can be certain that BlackRock has signed up for a niche ETF. Consider how this will affect the charge, not the claim itself. We haven't even discussed the possibility of the ETF being allowed. There you have it. And I think it will happen. Not only that, but it's approaching faster than many people believe based on what we know about Bitcoin and Ethereum in the past. That makes sense. This is what I believe will happen with XRP as well. But it's pretty cool to look at, and I feel the need to share this with you. But first, consider the massive amount of money that is coming in. So ETF moves around 440 Bitcoins were purchased and 862 Ethereum were sold. Very interesting. Of course, you understand that it has something to do with the current rate. So Ethereum has just seen a lot of net gains because it hasn't reached its all-time high yet. When Ethereum hit an all-time high, it triggered a rise in all coins. However, I believe the viewpoint has changed this time. We've already seen some of these other layer ones, including our application goods, come off. You are aware that not everyone expected what happened up to a point. So I believe it is safe to say that the landscape is changing. On the other hand, from an investment standpoint, I believe Ethereum will not be able to reach an all-time high, as some have speculated. In any case, let us move on. As you can see, a Canadian health company has agreed to give the Treasury 1 million Bitcoin. Lauren E. Cap, CEO of Givea Technology, stated that the flow of Bitcoin to the Treasury is a one-of-a-kind opportunity to strengthen our Treasury through a secure and current investment. This is a widespread phenomenon. Again, it doesn't surprise me, but it allows me to skip over what Ron says. As you already know. This week has been crazy in Congress and with cryptocurrency. Everyone is wondering what will happen to cryptocurrency in 25, 24, 25 years. While the situation is constantly changing, there are a few events that have occurred in DC. The past few weeks have demonstrated what to expect from them. This is the modern that we see. Just so you know, committees have delayed January confirmations and reintroduced bills, all of which are facing a price range fight. The majority of their time will most likely be spent on their paintings during the first few months. So something short-term will almost certainly come from an official order or business. Just a friendly reminder that if you're looking for overnight changes at the beginning of 25, they won't happen there. It takes time. And In the last 2.5 weeks, we've seen big traits emerge, not only from Brad Glinghouse, but also from Gary Gensler's home, which many people wanted and achieved. That being said, I think the view is fantastic, but let's review what Ron says. RS knows they need to move quickly because the other person is extremely manipulative. Congress and the administration meet on rare occasions and for brief periods of time. Finding and starting a party usually takes years. Voting on payments and nominations, which they had planned for months in advance, can always go wrong. Early crypto-related nominations appear to be positive and have little bearing on the debate thus far. The CC and CSEFTC are still to come. Trump supporters have been discussing capability gnomes behind closed doors for months. Reactions and input. So a significant part of what was meant was that maximum could mean good quality. So you could get an idea of what was going on. So I think 25 will be great to look forward to when it starts. You hear good information after hearing shocking news. That is not going to happen. In addition, I believe I told you this earlier, next year, we see a market flush. That is what I believe will happen. Even though Trump is president, the entire business is clearly changing. That is not to say there will not be a shakeup. However, this does not imply that people will not lock in gains. This is why you need an exit strategy. If you don't have an exit strategy, you'll most likely fall behind the curve in terms of moving forward. Monica clearly takes the time to discuss the statement about our checks that resulted from the relationship with Ripple. So stay on the XRP ledger and gain access to the $3 billion liquidity fund, which is tokenized through our checks. This is a significant step forward for XRPL, and it's the Ripple custody provides the best example of collaboration at its finest, protecting our checks. And that's only the beginning. From my perspective, we will see more. The asset managers are looking at the XRP ledger and are most likely tokenizing their assets on it. Again, this is just interesting information, and it's another rumor that keeps popping up in the cryptocurrency industry, and people, particularly in XRP. The community is discussing the fact that Donald Trump is reportedly considering Ripple CEO Brad Glinghouse for the position of CryptoSar. If you're not sure what a CryptoSar is, let's look it up. According to Bloomberg, the CryptoSar will be the first person in the White House with a job specifically related to cryptocurrency. Let that sink in for a moment. This new position may report directly to the president and will be in charge of coordinating coverage throughout the federal government. If that happens, it will be huge. But it makes you wonder what might have happened if Brad Glinghouse had expressed a desire to step down. Obviously, I'd like you to let me know in the comments below. You may be wondering why he wants to resign as CEO of Serapope due to a potential conflict of interest. Please let me know in the comments what you think will help us check the fee. You are aware that the last 24 hours have been quite interesting for Bitcoin. We see a significant increase up to 59.17%. But then a decline down to 58.69%. If you're searching, Bitcoin has done something very interesting, as you can see from BTC right now. So to begin, and I mentioned this in my previous opto, I'll type it out to make you guys more visible. So it's clear that some experts notice this bar sample formation on an hourly basis. That's mostly a sign that prices are falling. And guess what? Bitcoin fees are currently rising.